So right here under devices, you should have already added a device, and that's right here, this PC system, somatic PC station, blah, blah, blah. You should have already added the IE network to it. And then you should have already come in here to devices and networks and established this link between the PLC and the HMI. So hopefully you've got all that, in which case you've got this HMI RT, WinCC RT Professional over here in your project tree. And if you're at least that far, then hey, we're on the same sheet. Let's go ahead and we're going to come down here into connections. Double check and make sure that we've already got the connection, and we can see it right there. I don't like the name of that, so I'm just going to call it 1500 PLC. You can call yours something different, the same thing, or leave it on the HMI connection that was already there. Once we've got our connections done, we can really close both of those. And we're going to be jumping into HMI tags, and definitely this isn't going to be the most exciting part of the course, but now it's just a matter of getting in here and going through and naming all of our tags that we're going to be using. So I don't remember off the top of my head every single tag that we created, and because of that, I'm going to just try to go through and create a few of these tags, but I'll try to remember a handful so that we don't have to go back and forth while we're developing screens and create these. But some of that's going to be inevitable. So first one, I know we've got a system start push button, and data type on that guy is bool. That is an PLC tag, not an internal tag. And that links to system start PB. I clicked on it, now I'm just waiting. Oh, okay, thanks TIA Portal. System stop push button. And now that I've already got these new ones appearing as bool PLC, I'm just going to go down through here and try to just click these things off. And I'm probably going to go back and forth with the PLC also, and add some more logic and add some more tags that I need just for display purposes. One thing that I can already think of that I'm going to need is I want to display what mode we're in. And right now we don't have a convenient way to do that because everything is set up, our modes are all set up on booleans. So real quick, I'm just going to jump back into the PLC, program blocks, and I'll go ahead and put this in my main just to speed things up. So it's not going to be all segregated out into 4 languages. I think we're past that point now. I want to put something in there that's going to control an integer and move different values into that depending on what mode we're in. So I'm going to just put HMI display values down here, and anything I need to add for the HMI, I'll go ahead and just do it here. So first tag coming in is going to look for idle mode, and when we're in idle mode, and I'm not even going to set this up on one shots, okay? So I'm going to do this just really kind of vulgar, really simple. So we'll say idle mode is 0, and we're going to move that to mode int. All right, real simple name. Define that. That's going to be a global int, because we definitely want to read that in other places. That's the whole reason we're creating this. And let's copy all of that. And we're going to need a few more of these. And one more, I think. And let's paste these in. Okay, so aside from idle, we're going to look for warm-up mode, stabilize mode, generation mode, and cooldown mode. We're not going to worry about fault mode in here. Man, did I overwrite something that wasn't supposed to happen? Control Z, and this is supposed to be cooldown mode. And we've got 0 for idle. We're just going to go right up the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's just jump back into our tags here. And that's going to be an int. So I would rather put all of my bools together and then do my ints. So I'm going to come back to that one. For right now, I'm going to think about my alarms that I've got. So what are my alarms? I know I've got an e-stop alarm. I've got a brake failure alarm. I've got an overspeed alarm, an overcurrent alarm. We've got a high oil temp alarm, a high oil flow alarm, a low oil flow alarm, and let's see, 6 alarms, 7 alarms. Yeah, okay, I think we've got all of the alarms now. We've got the start button, we've got the stop button, we've got an alarm silence, we've got an alarm reset, and then let's think about our devices. We've got lots of I/O. We've got lots of things to create tags for our devices. So we want to know when the brake is energized. We also want to know when the station interlock is energized. We want to know when the VFD is energized. We want to know when the baffle is energized. We even want to look at the alarm horn and know when that's energized, although we should certainly be able to hear that when it is. And then for all of these, we're going to need HOA push buttons. So let's go ahead and brake, not bark, brake. We need a hand push button, brake off push button, brake auto push button, and then we need station interlock hand push button, station interlock off push button, station interlock auto push button. We need our VFD hand push button, VFD off push button, VFD auto push button, baffle hand push button, baffle off push button, baffle auto push button, alarm horn hand push button, alarm horn off push button, alarm horn auto push button. And I'm trying to think, what other bools do we need? I'm sure there's 100, but I'm not thinking of them right now, so I'm going to just jump in and start defining some ints. So we already know we created our mode int, and now that I've created that, I'm going to go ahead and change that to int so that the next things that pop up are going to be ints. And while we're doing our HOA, we need to know the HOA status of each of our devices. So we need a brake HOA, we need a station interlock HOA, we need a VFD HOA, baffle HOA. We need to know the alarm horn HOA. The brake, let's see, we've already got the brake HOA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's all of our devices. Okay, we're good on that. And I think that's pretty good as far as getting us started. Oh, let's pull in our hour meter stuff. So we need hour meter. We have minutes. We have hour meter hours. And we have hour meter days. And then we have an hour meter reset push button. Okay. So yeah, the more I think about it, the more I can come up with different things, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's this, oh yeah, then there's that. And at least we've got a handful of different things. Fault mode, I know we want to look at that. That's a bool, so let's go ahead and define it as such. Alright, that's a little something to get us started. Now I'm just going to go through here and define all of this junk. So system stop or system start push button we've got. There's our system stop. We need our e-stop alarm, our brake failure alarm, our overspeed alarm. No, not overcurrent set point, but now that I think about it, oh yeah, there's all of those set points that we need for the delays and all that. So we've really got a lot to put in here. Overspeed alarm. We need our overcurrent alarm. High oil temp alarm. We've got oil high flow alarm. Where is that? Oil high flow alarm. And then we need our oil low flow alarm. Got it. Alarm silence, alarm reset, and now that I'm thinking about alarm set points, we've also got our PID set points for our different modes. We've got our transition times for all of those different modes, so tons and tons of stuff. Let's go through some of these alarms. I'm going to, actually now that I've got my alarms, why don't I just jump down here, and you know what, I'm just going to minimize this and get that down out of the way, and start looking at my alarms. So for my brake failure alarm, what's my time on that? That'll be brake failure delay, and let's go ahead and define that as an int. Come down to our next one, and what's the next alarm that we have? We've got overspeed and overcurrent. Those have delays and set points. So overcurrent set point, overcurrent delay, overspeed set point, overspeed delay, high oil flow, or rather let's do temp first. High oil temp set point, high oil temp delay, high oil flow set point, high oil flow delay, low oil flow set point. And actually we don't need a set point on, oh yeah we do, low oil flow set point, low oil flow delay, and let's look back up to these alarms, and our brake failure also needs a delay time. Brake failure delay. Oh, it looks like I've already got that guy created, so never mind. We'll be getting rid of that. And then we needed our set points and times for our different modes. So warm up oil temp, warm up delay, stabilize current, and actually instead of calling that stabilize current, we can just call that current set point. And then we need a stabilize delay. When we're in generation mode, we don't need anything, so we go down to cooldown, cooldown temp, and what did we call that? We'll just call it oil temp. Yeah, cooldown oil temp, cooldown delay, and when we're in idle, we don't need anything. So, all right, there's a few more tags for us. Let's go back to identifying these in the PLC. So our station interlock, there's our output on that. Whoops, that was our break. We put that in the wrong place. So there's our break output. Here is our station interlock output. We need to know when our VFD is energized, and I think that's under oil pump VFD. Let's see, come down here, VFD energize out. So that's what we're looking for. We want to know when our baffle is being run, and we need to know when our alarm horn is being run. And you know what? We don't even have control logic for our alarm horn. We haven't put that in yet, so we should probably go ahead and do that as well. And we need something that's going to control our alarm, so I'm going to jump in right now and just knock that out. I'm going to pull up all 4 of my alarm programming blocks here. And boy, they're slow opening. Oh, nice. And then it jumps around on me. That's even better. Okay, so let's go ahead and start in ladders. We've got all of these different alarms, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to create one more of these, and this is going to be alarm horn control. And what are we looking for as a condition? This is going to be triggered by fault mode. So when we're in fault mode, we're going to one-shot a trigger bit. So let's come over here to bit logic, pull up a positive trigger. That's going to be OS 8, which looks like the next unused OS. That's going to have to be local static, bool, and bring in our assignment. If I can click on the right place first, and that'll be alarm horn trigger. Right click, that can be a local temp bool because we don't need that anywhere else. And come down to our control rung here, and this is where we're going to be actually energizing the alarm horn. So that's going to be our alarm horn, and actually not out. Sorry, that's going to be alarm horn control, because this is when the alarm horn's in automatic mode. And let's bring in our first contact, and it's the trigger that's going to start that thing working. Come down here, and the control bit itself is going to be the hold-in, and we're going to interrupt that with a couple of different things. So we need 2 normally open contacts pointing at alarm reset and alarm silence. And either one of those will disable that alarm horn control. Okay, we've got it in one paradigm. Let's close out of there. Go into function blocks all the way down here at the end. And man, I love the way those things collapse on me. So this is going to be handled pretty similarly to the e-stop. So I'll just copy all of that. Alarm horn control. And let's just paste that logic in there. We're going to need a different one-shot, so that'll be an OS7. Define the tag, local static bool. Now we're looking for fault mode. And in this case, the only thing that we're setting is our horn, so we can delete one of these, and that's going to be our alarm horn control bit. So, whoa, where is it? There it is, top of the list. And then we're going to reset the same alarm horn control, and actually not on there. So let's copy that and come down here. That's where we're actually going to be doing the work. And we can just delete this block out of here. So if there's an alarm silence or an alarm reset, we're going to reset our alarm horn control. Simple. Let's get out of there. And good, we've got our not STL, screw that, we're doing that last. Let's come in here. We're looking for our SCL. We'll do the SCL now. Yeah, we like that. Okay, change our comment. I just copy and pasted this block. Alarm horn control. So we're looking for if fault mode and not alarm horn control. Then we're going to set alarm horn control equal to 1 if alarm horn control and alarm reset, and I'm going to throw in an or alarm silence here. And then I just need to put these two alarm silence and alarm reset in parentheses. So if alarm horn control and either one of these, then we're just going to set our alarm horn control to 0, end if, and we don't have to have anything separate down there. Okay. 3 down and our famous STL to go. So we're down here at the bottom and we're managing our e-stop alarm. So assuming that's going to be pretty similar language here, let's go ahead and copy and paste that down here. And this is going to be, let's change our comment first, alarm horn control, and alarm horn CTRL. Okay, so we've got a label made up. Let's copy that, and instead of jumping to end of line, right above here, we're going to replace all of those. So now we're jumping to the next alarm evaluation, or actually the alarm horn control. So we're not looking for and not e-stop. Now we're looking for and fault mode. We're checking to see if this is a front positive. So we'll call that, there's already an OS 14. There's already an OS 15. There's not an OS 16. Define tag, local static bool. And if this is the first scan of the fault mode, then we're going to jump C to set alarm horn. And let's copy that and paste the name down there. Clear. Otherwise, we're going to check for alarm reset on the next available OS 17 and alarm silence on OS 18. And I'll go ahead and define those. Local static bool, define tag, local static bool. Got them. And then we're going to be resetting alarm horn. And I can just copy that because I need it in a couple of other places. So either one of those, and I could use an or in between there instead of two separate evaluations. Oh, you know what? It's because I've got I've got two different places going down here to reset. I really only need one. So let's go ahead and get rid of that notify one down there. And that's what we'll do. So we will check the alarm silence, and we'll say and alarm reset or alarm reset. Oops, we already got reset, sorry. So and alarm reset or alarm silence. We're going to front positive that. We're not going to use that OS 18 after all, so let's just delete that out of there. Sorry for letting this lecture become kind of an STL programming lecture, but trust me, I'm almost done. Alright, so if we've got that, then we're going to jump conditionally to reset, and why is it called ES alarm still? Reset alarm horn, that's what we wanted. Okay, so if either one of those buttons is being pushed on the first scan, we're going to jump down to reset the alarm horn, and then we're going to jump to end of line otherwise. And after we do the reset, we're going to jump to end of line, and after we do the set, and we need to modify our set logic, so we're going to set alarm horn control, copy, and we're going to reset alarm horn control and not any e-stop anything before we conditionally jump out of here. So alright, I think we've got that logic in there. It's pretty simple. It'll probably work. I think we can close out of there, and I've done enough programming and tagging, I better just save. And let's get back into here and defining all of these. We need our break hand push button. We need our break off push button. It's in here. I swear it is. There it is down on the bottom. We need our break auto push button. We need our station interlock hand push button. Station interlock off push button. And station interlock auto push button. Where is it? There we are. Okay, we need our VFD hand push button, and I think we put that under VFD. Yeah, VFD hand push button, VFD off push button, VFD auto push button. Oh, it jumped. Or actually, that was my fault. Okay, baffle hand push button. I'm telling you, it doesn't get more exciting than this. Baffle off push button. And baffle auto push button. And we're going to need manual speeds for these, or actually manual set points for those. So let's go ahead and put VFD manual set point and baffle manual set point while we're thinking about it. Let's come up to here. Alarm horn hand push button. Alarm horn off push button. Alarm horn auto push button. And okay, now we're looking for some different stuff. So our mode int, we've got that. our brake HOA, and okay, bottom of the list. Station interlock HOA. We need our VFD HOA, our baffle HOA, alarm horn HOA, hour meter, hours, minutes, hours, and days. So minutes, hours, and days. And then we need our hour meter reset push button. And it's not under HO, so it must be reset hour meter push button is what we called that. We need to check our fault mode. Brake failure delay. Overcurrent set point. There it is. Overcurrent delay. Let's scroll up a little bit here. And what are we looking for next? That's our overspeed set point. Down at the bottom. Overspeed delay set point. Oh man, I clicked the wrong damn thing. Let's try that again. Overspeed delay set point. There we go. High oil temp set point. High oil temp delay. Oil high flow set point. Oil high flow delay set point. Oil low flow set point. Oil low flow delay set point. Warm up oil temp. Warm up delay. We need our current set point, and I think we had that under stabilized kilowatt or something like that, yeah. We need our stabilized delay. Cool down oil temp. Cool down delay. VFD manual set point. And baffle manual set point. Okay, I think that's getting us there. Last thing I'm going to do real quickly before we wrap this lecture is I'm going to come down here to my HMI section, HMI alarms, and I'm just going to plug in those alarms. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 alarms, and let's go ahead and name those. And I'm just going to pull in the trigger tags for these. So we've got our e-stop alarm, brake failure alarm, overcurrent alarm, overspeed alarm, high oil flow alarm, low oil flow alarm, and high oil temp alarm. And we'll come over here and just name these. E-stop, brake failure, overcurrent, overspeed, high oil flow, low oil flow, and high oil temp. Not Hogue oil temp, high oil temp. Got it? And okay, I think that's got us for that. So close out of there. We've got enough tags to get us started. So